Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another short review Roundup video on flying Wiener. Today we're doing something very specifically. I'm continuing my journey through Apple TV's catalogue. As of filming right now, I have actually already cancelled my subscription, so I just sort of inhaled as many shows as I could in a short span of 2 months, and this is me continuing to talk about them. Actually going to be another few videos that I will bring out, not decided on the order yet, but I can still fill at least 2 more videos after this, and then I promise if you're sick of hearing about Apple TV, I'll be done for quite some time after that. What are we talking about today? We're actually being very specific. These are 2 things from Apple TV+, but they are entirely focused on Tom Holland, who, if you're not aware of him, he is the MCU Spider-Man. You know, you might have heard of him. He was in Uncharted, for instance. He was in one of my favourite Netflix films that maybe flew quite under the radar. It's called The Devil All the Time. I'll actually leave a link to that at the end of my review of that. At the end of this video, because I really enjoyed that. It came out a few years ago now, I think, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. And yeah, it's really worthwhile watching. To this day, it's still the best acting I have seen from him. Not that he's a bad actor, I'm just saying that's how much you need to watch that film. Not just because of him, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there are 2 things on Apple TV+, and as I am a fan of his, I thought, yeah, I'll check them out as well. So we've got 2 things. We have got a TV show that came out rather recently. It's called The Crowded Room. The second thing is a film called Cherry, which interestingly is made by the directors of the big Avengers films, the last 2 at least, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, the Russo brothers. So I was quite interested to see them doing this. We're going to talk about these things in that order, so I'm going to talk about The Crowded Room first and then about Cherry. If you want to hop forward, you know, if you want to jump ahead to Cherry, you can use the bar below at the bottom of your screen, or in the comments I'll have timestamps. I do hope though that you'll listen to the whole thing because I keep these review roundups short anyway. So let's jump right into it. The Crowded Room, like I say, it came out very recently on Apple TV+, and straight away one thing that I have to say about not just this but a lot of shows, the Apple TV+ has really cool intros. So I rarely skip the intros because they're just visually very cool. I mean, I talked about For All Mankind recently, I really like that, but there are others in upcoming videos that I enjoyed even more. So they've got really cool visual intros, intro credits, whatever you want to call them. And The Crowded Room is a great example of it. It's got this sort of painted style, sort of, yeah, artsy. Really enjoyed that. What is it about? We're focused on this young man who, yeah, the whole thing starts off, he's in a spot of trouble because he has been arrested for shooting someone. And that is what we start off with. He is being diagnosed, or at least interviewed, by a psychologist. And they're trying to figure out what's going on because he's telling them about this big plot that he's involved with, all these people, these shady, weird people that pop up in his story. And yeah, we're going along with the ride. We don't know either. We're just trying to figure out the whole story. Now, that's pretty much all I'll tell you about the plot. I mean, he is then in court, you know, because the prosecutor is seeking a conviction for what he did. And yeah, so it's also, so it's part that and it's part yeah, courtroom drama in that sense, but not too heavy on the courtroom stuff if that's something that puts you off. And yeah, so we're also trying to figure out what's going on, what were these events and these people and how did they interact with them and all these things. I will say that the big twist that the show has was not a twist for me because I saw it coming even before I pressed play, because the actual title, The Crowded Room, immediately kind of told me what was going to happen. I don't know. I mean, is that how it's meant to be? I don't know. I don't think of myself as a genius, so I won't stoop to that level of saying, yeah, of course, it was obviously me. No, it just was. But like I say, maybe it was to many people. And that's why sort of the first half, the first few episodes, I didn't enjoy too much because they were trying to sort of present as this mystery and what's going on and all these things. And I was thinking, yeah, it's kind of a bit obvious to me. I will say though that once the twist actually happens in the show, the whole quality improved for me. So from that point on, I was fully on board. I really enjoyed it quite a lot. So it didn't even put me off, you know, even knowing the big twist from the start didn't put me off. So, or expecting the twist, let's put it that way, because I didn't know for sure, but yeah. But I really liked it for Tom Holland, but I still think he's a really great actor. You know, I can see why he has been trying over the past few years. I mean, obviously it's cool to be Spider-Man and playing in Uncharted. I mean, that must be cool. But I can see that he also wants to validate himself as an actual actor, you know, who's got who's got a variety and not just an action hero or these kind of things. You know, he wants to show that he can actually do stuff and enjoys doing stuff. And he gets to do a lot of stuff in the crowded room. Sorry about that. I had to make a quick cut because I heard some strange noises and I'm actually home alone, so that gave me a bit of a fright. Turns out it was a cat in a box. Well, if you don't have any cats, then you're not familiar with these situations, but that gave me a bit of a fright there. I had some goosebumps. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so I really enjoy watching him trying to, you know, just broaden his horizons, delve into more interesting roles. And this one is very, very multi-layered, I will say, so I really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you want to watch some drama that's got this sort of psychological aspect and there's a bit of a mystery, you know, sort of crime thing as well, then this will be very interesting to you. The second thing we're talking about is a film called Cherry, which I must admit, despite liking Tom Holland, I really didn't like too much in total. To put it very simply, it's about this young boy who, his girlfriend, the sort of really shortest version is, his girlfriend leaves him, he signs up to the army, which is a story that we all know about, but when he's already put his name down, she comes back and then she says, oh, but I'll wait for you, and she does wait for him, and he comes back and he is mentally, from the war, he is, you know, completely messed up, and both of them become drug addicts, and it's about the struggle happening there and trying to keep afloat, you know, and the life just completely deteriorating and trying to claw out from that situation. Now that aspect of the story, that, you know, just the general summary of it, even now repeating it back to you, I really enjoyed that, and just staying with the sequences, all the war sequences are really great to watch. I mean, obviously it's dreadful what you're watching, but I mean the way it's made, really good at what we know from the Russo brothers. I think they're great directors. I think they've got, you know, visually definitely they're there. I really liked all that, and also seeing the struggle, it makes absolute sense, you know, veterans coming back from war and just having to deal with these situations and not being able to. All that makes sense, but what I don't like about the story is this film is was it 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that, so it's a long story in that sense. There's not much that happens and it feels like it drags on just a bit too much. Yeah, there's not much that happens in the film because you're sort of seeing the same scenes repeat over and over again, more or less in similar ways. You know, as they become more desperate, they sort of resort to crime and robbing banks, and it repeats a bit. You know, it's not just like you see it once or maybe you see it twice, but you see it quite a few times, and the various situations just tend to repeat themselves. So I liked the overall story. I liked, you know, visually, I liked it a lot. I liked the way it's shot. The acting is fine. Like I say, Tom Holland is definitely a good actor in this role as well. I felt that the script needed to be edited down quite a bit, but still very enjoyable. But of the two, I'd say watch Crowded Room first, and then if you're fancying a film with Tom Holland with the subject matter that I just described, you can watch Cherry too. That'll be me today, just two things, but well, until Apple TV+ makes another Tom Holland thing, I guess that's your lot for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about any of these two things I talked about. Like I said, I'll leave a link to my review of The Devil All the Time up here, so you can click on that, share thoughts on that down below if you want to. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.